Hello, my health conscious audience. Here I am again, Menopause Taylor, teaching you all sorts of things to enable you to manage your menopause your way and make the rest of your life the best of your life. You have tuned into the state of menopause in the world today, and I give you all kinds of talks about things having to do with menopause so that you will be well equipped to manage yours any way you want, but successfully and knowledgeably. And I have just finished a series of podcasts on the category of options that include vitamins, minerals, dietary supplements, and herbal products for managing your menopause. And now I want to focus on something that might surprise you. You know how we take certain things for granted? We think we know how some things work when in fact we really don't. So what I want to address in this podcast is healthcare. The title of this podcast is Healthcare versus Disease Care. And the problem is that it bothers me when names or labels or terms are misleading. When something doesn't represent what its name suggests, it sets you up for failure. When you assume that it means what it should mean based on its name. So when I said I wanted to address health care, what came to mind for you? Did you immediately think about doctors, medical appointments, and hospitals? If so, why? Well, of course, I know why, but have you ever really stopped to think about the term health care with respect to what actually constitutes health care? Do you know what an oxymoron is? An oxymoron is when a figure of speech is contradictory in and of itself. Here are some oxymorons. Pretty ugly. It's impossible to be both pretty and ugly. Cruel kindness. There is nothing cruel about being kind, and there is nothing kind about being cruel. Living dead. You're either living or you're dead. The two are mutually exclusive. Or deafening silence. I mean, silence is silent. It can't cause deafness. You get the picture, okay? Well, while the term health care is not in and of itself an oxymoron, the term is not consistent with what actually constitutes health care. It's an oxymoron in the sense that our health care system is not about health. My point is this: our health care system is really a disease care system. The system that is designed to treat or cure you when you have a disease. It is not designed to keep you healthy. Let's talk about medical education for a minute. Medical education is all about understanding disease. In medical school, we only learn enough about health to know what normal is. And the only reason we need to know what constitutes normal is so that we can recognize disease. So a typical 4-year medical school curriculum consists of less than 1 year, much less than 1 year on what's normal. It's about 6 months on what's normal. And none of medical school is about how to keep it that way. All the rest of the time is spent on disease and what's abnormal. And then, after medical school, there's another 4 years at least of residency training. And guess how much of that time is devoted to disease? All of it! That's how much. Does that surprise you? And if it does surprise you, why? Think about it. When do you need a doctor? You need a doctor when you're sick, or diseased, or broken in some way. So doctors are repairmen. We are repairmen. The entire medical profession is all about repairing what's broken. And the tools that we have to repair you when you're broken are medications and surgeries. So why do we call our health care system a health care system when the people in that system only know how to fix and recognize disease? The fact is that your doctor knows nothing about keeping you healthy. Did you know that in medical school, we don't get even a minute of education on nutrition? Most doctors don't even believe that diet has anything to do with health. And that's not because they're dumb. It's simply because it isn't a part of their education, so they don't imagine that something that important would be left out. Exercise isn't a part of their education either. You know, the majority of doctors do not have healthy lifestyles themselves. I'm an oddball. I'm a health nut, gym rat, and vegan, and all that. I'm an oddball doctor because I'm so healthy. Most doctors know about as much as you know about a healthy lifestyle, and they're only as willing as you are to practice a healthy lifestyle. So the real health care industry is what you tend to call the wellness industry. It consists of professionals who are trained in how to keep you well. It's the stuff that keeps you from even needing the disease care industry. So dietitians, nutritionists, fitness trainers, naturopaths, they're all in the wellness industry. But those professionals don't know anything about disease. So if you go to your doctor to talk about diet and fitness, you are using the wrong professional in the wrong industry. And if you go to your naturopath to treat a disease, you are using the wrong professional in the wrong industry. Likewise, if you use your dietitian, nutritionist, or fitness trainer instead of using your doctor when you have a disease, you're using the wrong professional in the wrong industry. If you ask me, I think the biggest problem is that these two industries, the healthcare industry and the disease care industry, are so separate. But most people don't really understand the differences between them. Most people don't even make the distinction. Nor do they understand the educational differences of the professionals within them. And a large part of that misunderstanding stems from the fact that calling the disease care industry a healthcare industry is an oxymoron. You know, it's very confusing when you go to your doctor and suggest using diet to prevent or treat a disease, and your doctor rolls his or her eyes or just dismisses diet as an option. And it's very confusing when you go to your naturopath to treat a medical problem, and instead he or she talks only about staying well. Your doctor knows nothing about natural remedies, and your naturopath knows nothing about curing diseases. You see, I'm all about telling the truth, and I'm all about reality and just being honest with you. And I think that if the very names of these industries are oxymorons, how in the world are you going to know how to use them effectively? I think it sets you up for failure. You know, at the same time, none of this makes one industry good and the other one bad. None of this makes any of these professionals crooked. The worst thing you can do is label either one as all good or all bad. That is not the point of this talk. You just need to use each industry or professional for the right purposes. If you think your nutritionist can cure your cancer, you're mistaken. If you think your naturopath can help you with your cancer, you're mistaken. By the same token, if you think your doctor can teach you about nutrition, you're mistaken. It's like this. You wouldn't expect your plumber to know how to build you a house, would you? Well, this is no different. You have to know how to use the right professionals to accomplish your goals. This is just like knowing how to use the right options to accomplish your goals. If you don't, you'll set yourself up for a lot of disappointment and frustration. We live in a time when things are greatly fragmented. It's very rare these days to be able to address everything in any one place. As technology advances and businesses grow, the individual departments of a system, any system, get broken into separate entities. You can take any industry. Banking, for instance. Let's see, banking. You have a credit card division, the loan division, the checking division, the mortgage division, and even the insurance division. But each division only knows how to do one thing. And that makes your banking experience inconvenient and frustrating. You're trying to get something done, and you're on the phone with one person, if you can even get anyone on the phone, and you're addressing one thing, and in order to move on to the next thing, they have to transfer you to another department, and you have to start all over again. Well, if the fragmentation of the health and disease care industries is no different than that, you can understand why it's so hard to understand how it is that you can manage your health easily. You want to be able to get all your needs met in one place, and the fragmentation is making it impossible. And it's impossible with the wellness people telling you one thing and the disease people telling you something else. As it stands now, America's healthcare system is neither healthy, caring, or even a system. I have lived on every continent except Antarctica. Do you know where the United States healthcare system ranks worldwide in terms of its healthcare system? Now, you're talking about the world leader in terms of nations. You would expect the U.S. healthcare system to be, top 3, 5? Something like that. The U.S. healthcare system is number 37. 37. That's terrible. As it stands now, America's healthcare system is neither healthy, caring, or even a system. That is something that Walter Cronkite said years ago, and it's still the case today. I'm here to weave it all together for you. I'm doing my best to help you use both industries to your advantage. And the first step in accomplishing that is to make sure you know the differences between the two. Way back at the early part of these podcasts, like I said, they go in order. And way back in the early podcasts, I gave you a podcast on the differences between traditional medicine versus alternative and complementary medicine. And then a little later, in my videos at least, I did some interviews with different professionals because my attitude is I want to present everything to women who want to learn about menopause. And one of the best ways to present the differences among professionals is to interview the actual professionals and let them tell you themselves what they can and cannot do for you. And then later in this podcast series, I summarized the differences between traditional medical professionals, alternative and complementary professionals, and hybrid professionals who kind of exist in both worlds. And I did all of that in order to make it easier for you to find the professionals you want, knowing what each can or cannot do for you. So this particular podcast is to reiterate the difference between